Yo guys, what is up? And today we are back with another video. Make sure to like, sub, and comment, and let's get into the video. Deji's response video to him losing, and then KSI's video where he talks about Deji losing. So what I'll say about Deji's whole video is it was inspirational. Obviously, Deji losing for the third time, it's not good. It's not a good look for him at all. But what I will say is him being able to say, I'm going to continue going to show people that you can keep going no matter how many times you get knocked down. And I'm sorry, but I can't just give up. You know, that was inspirational and I liked seeing it. You know, and it showed that Deji wants to continue to train. And he said, I will not stop until I win. And honestly, I 100% support that. I know a lot of people are saying, Deji, you're done. Deji, you should retire. This sport isn't made for you. And in a way, I agree with that, with those sentiments. I think that boxing is a very specific sport that not everyone's going to get. And I think that a lot of Deji's problems stems from the mentality. And again, I said after the Vinny Hacker fight, maybe you should just retire, Deji. And I still think that's a good option for him. But if he wants to continue going, we as a community, we as Deji fans, we need to band together and support our guy once again. And I'm willing to support this Deji while also being realistic and being like, listen, Deji, you could very well lose your next fight, and you don't really have the mentality, but prove us wrong. Go at it again. Do it again. Show us the win. And Daly said on his Daly did an interview, who's his coach, and he said the following:
76 kilos, you know, so he had to lose all that weight. So you're not even going to see what he really can do until he gets used to being at his new weight and treat them as a human being. Then when it comes to the boxing stuff, it's going to be easy to unlock all those things you want to unlock. And I've only had 6 weeks to do it. The first week is just getting to know him. Then he got COVID and didn't train for 1 week. Then he had to recover from COVID, so it took a few more days. Then the week of the fight, you're not training hard, you're tapering down. So really, I only had around 3 weeks to drill some knowledge into him.
And so it's very surprising to hear that Deji had COVID and that he ultimately had 3 weeks of actual training. And Daly said that this was the first time that he'd actually ever boxed and been in a camp before, and the first time that he felt that he was fighting at this specific weight. So those are not excuses, but those are factors into why Deji maybe did not take the W on Saturday. People like True Jordan, even KSI, saying he looked worse. I personally would have to disagree, or that he looked the same. I think he looked amazing in this fight. And again, I'm not trying to hype him up or be a yes man, because going on to KSI's video for a minute here, I do have to say, for me, KSI took a bit of an L, and I highly disagree with him, because I think that what he was saying was a little overly harsh, and I think that if everything that he said in that video, he's saying Deji's hitting for the first time, that's kind of messed up, and I feel like some of this more personal, harsh stuff should not be put online, so I think that KSI took a misstep there. But what he's saying, I agree with, but the way he went about it and the way he said it, I just left a sour taste in my mouth. Him saying you don't have what it takes to win a boxing fight, and him revealing that Deji was not even training on Christmas Day, and instead of doing a 5K, did a 1K because his back was hurting. But mind you, that was before Daly, and I think Deji got that real mental mind switch. But having said that, I still think that is just part of Deji's DNA, is unable to go that extra mile, is unable to push through. And I think he got close, but he wasn't at that level to beat Alex Wasabi. And for KSI to say you should duck out of the fight is not what you want to hear. Because I think that Deji genuinely wants to box, but I think he also wants to do it for clout, relevancy, and because that's what his brother was successful in. If you were gonna, make fun of a guy that put in the work, that had the mindset, that had the skill, he just wasn't able to deliver. You know what I mean? Like, if he had better offense, he would have won. He was this close to beating Alex. You know what I mean? Even if he landed 5 more punches, he probably would have won that fight. was a very close fight. Deji actually put in the work, and if you do that, I don't have any disrespect for you. I don't have the right to make fun of you, because Deji put his all into it, and it still wasn't enough. But I think we now know the core issue is what I've stated previously, and that's Deji's mindset just isn't that of a boxer, and that's what I said all the way back in June, and I still stand by that. But if Deji wants to prove us wrong, I want him to. I'll buy the next pay-per-view. I'll support him. I won't actually pick him to win this time, but I think that I'm not gonna just turn my back and switch up just because of a loss. I think that's just kind of a fake fan move, and ultimately I think that you know, you can be realistic with Deji, and I don't like people that are saying, hyping him up and saying, you know, he's the best, and I don't like people that are saying he's the worst. We need to find a good middle ground and combine both elements of support and tough criticism and harshness. And Deji, I think, is going to continue to train, and that's what he said in his video. He wants to continue working with Daly. I think Daly is a great coach for him and just a good person for him. And at the end of the day, Deji has ultimately become and learned and evolved into a much more mature adult, and I think that's all we could ever ask for. I think what he should do is train and have one fight at the end of the year and do nothing but box, spars, maybe some secret fights that no one knows about, and really work on the mentality, the self-belief, the dedication, and living and training like a boxer for months and months and months, or even years, and not coming back until like 2025 or something, you know, really getting himself in the best place mentally and physically, because he was halfway there, but he was in ultimate form, and I think for Deji to succeed, he needs to be at ultimate form. Make sure to like, sub, and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.